Have you ever been excited to buy an electric car, dreaming of silent, eco-friendly rides and never having to stop for gas again? Maybe you imagined yourself cruising effortlessly through the city or hitting the highway without a second thought about refueling. But what if I told you that the reality for many electric car owners is far from this dream? What if your shiny new electric vehicle can barely go half the distance the manufacturer promised? What if winter chills or hot summer days turn your smooth ride into a frustrating battle against battery limits? This isn't just bad luck or your driving style, it's a widespread problem hidden behind glossy ads and sales pitches. In today's video, we're diving deep into the 5 electric cars you absolutely want to avoid buying in 2025. Ready to find out which electric cars you should steer clear of? Let's get started. Fiat Petstoe. The Fiat 500e is a darling of urban electric vehicles. A compact, cute, and stylish little car that's perfect for weaving through city traffic and slipping into tight parking spots. It promises up to 320 kilometers of range in city driving, a figure that has convinced thousands of drivers to take the plunge into electric mobility. Independent testing by ADAC, one of Europe's most respected automotive organizations, reveals that the 500e's 24 kilowatt-hour battery realistically delivers around 150 kilometers on average. That's less than half of what Fiat advertises. And if you live somewhere cold, the gap widens. Turn on the heater in winter, and the effective range can plummet below 120 kilometers. For starters, the Fiat 500e lacks one crucial feature: a heat pump. Heat pumps are a game changer in electric cars because they heat the cabin efficiently without draining the battery. Instead, the 500e uses traditional electric resistance heaters, which gobble up a lot of battery power when it's cold. Now let's talk charging. The 500e is limited to 50 kilowatt DC fast charging, which sounds decent, but in practice, this means longer waits compared to competitors with bigger batteries and faster chargers. In just 2 years, the average price of a used Fiat 500e drops by more than 45%. Why? Because many owners find the reality doesn't live up to the promise. The battery limitations, slower charging, and colder climates all add up to a car that's harder to live with day to day. If your life is mostly confined to the city center, if you have a reliable personal charger at home, and your daily trips are short, the Fiat 500e can still work. But if you need flexibility, longer range, or live in a colder region, it's wise to explore other options. Before moving on, think about this. Would you rather have a car that claims an impressive range but leaves you stranded? Or a car with a smaller range but consistent, reliable performance day in and day out? This question separates happy EV owners from frustrated ones. Coming up next is a surprisingly affordable SUV that's gaining attention for all the wrong reasons. It has spacious interiors and a solid price tag, but when the summer heat hits, its battery struggles badly. You don't want to miss this. 4th MG ZS EV. Now, let's shift gears and talk about the MG ZS EV, a compact SUV that grabbed attention with its surprisingly low price and roomy cabin. At first glance, it looks like a fantastic deal, spacious, modern, and packed with features you'd expect in a pricier vehicle. Take Marco, a typical driver from a mid-sized Italian city. In early 2022, Marco took advantage of generous government incentives and bought the MG ZS EV, believing he had found the perfect electric car. For the first few months, everything seemed perfect. The ride was quiet, the acceleration smooth, and the tech impressed both Marco and his friends. He was proud to show off his new eco-friendly car. But then summer arrived, the ultimate test for any electric vehicle. On a hot July day during a trip to the coast, Marco's battery suddenly overheated. The dashboard flashed warnings. The car's power dropped drastically and the range estimate plummeted. Why? Unlike many other EVs that use advanced liquid cooling systems to keep batteries at a safe temperature, the MG ZS EV relies on passive air cooling. This means when the weather heats up or on long highway drives, the battery struggles to stay cool. As the battery temperature rises, the car's system kicks in to protect it by reducing power output. That can feel like your car suddenly loses its pep or even forces you to pull over to let things cool down. A frustrating and potentially dangerous situation. And if you thought charging would save the day, think again. Many public charging stations only offer slow 22 kilowatt AC chargers, which meant Marco had to wait nearly 2 hours just to get enough battery to continue his journey. To make matters worse, MG's relatively new presence in the European market means the service network is still developing. This can translate into long waits for parts and repairs, adding stress and cost for owners. After just 1 year, Marco decided to sell the car, taking a steep financial loss. His story isn't unique. Online forums are filled with similar tales from other owners, disappointed by real-world range, overheating problems, and slow customer service. This highlights a common pitfall of budget electric vehicles. The upfront savings often come with hidden costs that might cost you more in time, money, and frustration in the long run. Up next is a compact city car that once ruled Europe's EV market, but it hides a critical design flaw that causes overheating and rapid battery wear. Stay tuned, because if you're considering this car, you'll want to hear this. 3. Renault Zoe R110. Next up is the Renault Zoe, a car that was once the undisputed champion of Europe's electric city cars. With its compact size, affordability, and straightforward driving experience, the Zoe quickly became a top choice for many switching to electric. But the R110 version, sold between 2018 and 2021, hides a significant technical flaw that has been a major source of frustration for owners and mechanics alike. Unlike most modern electric vehicles that use liquid cooling to manage motor temperatures, the Zoe relies on air cooling. At first glance, this seems like a cost-effective and simple approach, but in reality, it leads to serious problems. During long drives or on hot summer days, the motor struggles to dissipate heat effectively. When the motor temperature rises above safe limits, the car's control system steps in to protect the components by drastically reducing power output. Imagine cruising along smoothly and suddenly feeling your acceleration drop off sharply without warning. Frustrating, right? This isn't a mechanical failure, but a built-in safety feature. However, it severely limits performance and can turn longer journeys into a stressful experience. Now, let's talk about the battery. The Zoe comes equipped with a 41 kilowatt-hour battery pack, promising over 300 kilometers of range on paper. Yet, independent tests and owner reports tell a different story. In summer, the realistic range is closer to 240 kilometers, while in winter it can drop below 200. To make matters worse, the battery in the R110 model tends to degrade faster than the industry average. Many owners report losing up to 15% of battery capacity within just 2 years, resulting in a loss of over 50 kilometers in range. Another downside is the lack of CCS fast charging support. The Zoe only supports AC charging, maxing out at 22 kilowatts, which means longer charging times, especially on highway trips. If your driving mostly involves short city trips, the Zoe might still suit your needs. But if you rely on dependable range and fast charging for longer drives, there are better options on the market today. Coming up next is the Tesla Model 3 Standard Range, the poster child of electric cars worldwide, but even it has some hidden drawbacks you need to know about. Second, Tesla Model 3 Standard Range. The Tesla Model 3 has become almost synonymous with electric vehicles worldwide, praised for its sleek design, cutting-edge autopilot features, and constant over-the-air software updates that keep improving the car over time. However, the standard range version, mainly sold between 2021 and 2022, comes with some notable drawbacks that aren't always highlighted. Tesla claims a range of around 490 kilometers on a full charge for this model. But real-world driving tests tell a different story. In mixed driving conditions, owners typically experience around 310 kilometers in summer, dropping to about 220 kilometers during cold winter months. This range reduction becomes even more pronounced when using climate control, headlights, and other in-car electronics. Charging at Tesla's supercharger stations is fast and convenient for many owners, but public charging infrastructure varies greatly. Charging speeds depend heavily on the battery's condition, external temperature, and current state of charge. During winter, charging times can increase significantly, making long trips more challenging. The Model 3 Standard Range offers a sporty driving experience, responsive, smooth, and packed with tech. However, the suspension setup is on the stiffer side, designed for performance rather than comfort. This can make longer journeys over rough or uneven roads tiring and less comfortable for passengers. Reliability is generally good, But some early production batches, especially those from Tesla's Shanghai factory, have experienced issues such as water leaks in rear light assemblies and faulty door seals. While Tesla has addressed many of these under warranty, the recurrence of these issues has been a source of frustration for some owners. The Model 3 standard range is ideal for drivers with a reliable home charging setup, short daily commutes, and easy access to Tesla's supercharger network. Without these conditions, the vehicle may bring more challenges than expected. 1. Kia Soul EV. Rounding out our list is the Kia Soul EV, a unique and eye-catching electric car with a 64 kilowatt-hour battery that sets itself apart with its boxy, unconventional design. On paper, the Soul EV offers a compelling package: decent range, modern tech, and a roomy interior that appeals to drivers wanting something different. But appearances can be deceiving. The Soul's boxy shape creates poor aerodynamics, causing it to consume between 20 and 22 kilowatt-hours per 100 kilometers on highways. This is significantly higher than more streamlined EVs with similar battery capacities, meaning the battery drains faster than expected, especially at highway speeds. Real-world range usually falls between 290 and 320 kilometers on mixed driving, but drops below 260 kilometers in cold weather. Battery degradation is another concern. Many owners report losing around 12% battery capacity after just 40,000 kilometers, a faster decline than most competitors. While the Soul supports fast charging up to 100 kilowatts DC, in practice the charging rate sharply declines after the battery reaches around 50% state of charge. This means the second half of the charge takes nearly twice as long as the first, frustrating drivers on longer trips. Owners frequently report software issues with the infotainment system, including random resets, slow navigation, and laggy Android Auto or Apple CarPlay connections. Resale values for the Kia Soul EV tend to depreciate faster than average, with prices dropping over 50% within 2 years. If you live in an area without widespread fast charging or face high electricity costs, the Kia Soul EV's running cost per kilometer could exceed that of many gas-powered city cars. In summary, the Kia Soul EV looks fun and funky but can become an expensive and inconvenient choice for many drivers in everyday life. So there you have it. 5 electric cars that, despite their promises, often fall short when it comes to real-world driving. Range figures are frequently optimistic, and limitations become painfully obvious in cold weather, on highways, or during longer journeys. If your driving mainly involves short city trips and you have easy, reliable access to charging, some of these cars might still work for you. But if you want flexibility, reliability, and peace of mind, it's better to explore other options. Have you experienced any of these issues? Share your story in the comments below. I'd love to hear your experience. If this video helped you avoid a costly mistake, please hit the like button and subscribe for honest reviews and deep dives every week. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.